So you mentioned before, Ty and Tanner don't seem like they are into girls who are super feminine. Not saying that they don't like feminine women.
Girly girls.
Yeah. You mentioned Layla doesn't really come off as masculine or feminine. She just comes off as Layla. Like Layla is Layla.
She is strong in herself while still retaining the charming feminine qualities without being super girly girl. Oops, I broke a nail. Uh, you know, accessories, handbags, purses. The really girly side of the spectrum.
Speaking of which, I did break my nail on the way back. Sad, but I think there is one thing I do notice when it comes to media that I do really hate is that when it comes to writing, it's very hard to get an accurate or a decent portrayal of certain characters. When it comes to like TV or I think anime does it pretty decent. I think it's more like I get tired of seeing it in American TV. Like it's like you really just see a character instead of a character. I'm not sure if you feel the same way.
Can you repeat that one more time so I can understand what
Like
you're asking?
like in TV, do you feel like I guess it mostly applies to comedy or something, but you feel like you get a character instead of a character?
Oh, a caricature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like it's trying to play into a certain exaggerated trope that doesn't come across as genuine, really. It doesn't come across as natural. It's just trying to be a parody of itself in a way.
Mm-hmm. Or like they just want to fit all like the quotas or something like that.
Yeah, we want to check off as many boxes of this thing that we want. Really trying to speedrun the I'm establishing what this character is all about. So check. Okay, 30 seconds in, you got it. This is how we want you to perceive this character.
Yeah, like when I try writing a character, I try thinking about first what do I want the character to be, female or male, something like that. Um, and then I'll go on what traits do I want the character to have. Um, which some people do theirs differently. I feel like if you first establish the basis first, it makes it easier than rather to establish the characteristics first and then decide to be male or female or however you want to define the character, because then you will have it be messy down the line. I think people usually go by manga artists. There's if you ever heard of Araki, he has this big template on how he makes a character. But the reason why I do it that way is like because if you don't define the character at first, if like you start being like, I want super masculine, etc., 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 and then you're like, you know what? I don't have any girls in this game. Maybe I'll just make this character a girl, and then you're like, this feels out of place, and then you're like, did I just make this character just to like have this character, or does it feel like I wanted this character to be in there? Because I feel like that's what happens with certain characters. Like they always feel out of place because they were added there just to actually fit in the game. Huh?
A token, like a token
Yeah,
character.
yeah. Which is something I was trying to avoid in this game.
Yeah, I could definitely see that because you feel like there isn't a certain diversity to it that you want to include, but does the character being male or female or whatever ethnicity they are serve the character, or are you just making the character like that to check a box?
Yeah. So like when it comes to that, is there like a certain book or something you read that kind of did fill the box, but you think did it in the right way?
As in the character being, say, Latino, serve the character and makes sense for, rather than just being a token Latino character.
Yes.
I guess if I'm going to think of one, the first one that I can think of is Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy, where Ricky, being the Hispanic character that he was good for the character, being that he was a showman who performed Latin music. That was what he did professionally, and it served the character very well, rather than just being, say, a token Latino, even when that wasn't really a concern at that time. As for other characters, I can't think of one that comes to mind, but there are some that definitely have an ethnicity or a male or female orientation that serves the character in a positive way, rather than just trying to be different than the others.
Yeah, I guess like you know, I understand people might have a good intention to it. It's just like whether a positive intention is there, sometimes it could have a negative repercussion. So it's like to understand why you did it in the first place.